He didn't even step onto the field. He didn't throw a single block or catch a single pass. And yet, Travis Kelce still managed to become the most talked about person at Arrowhead Stadium this weekend, all because of one small, golden detail wrapped around his ring finger. More than a month after marrying Taylor Swift in a wedding that shut down conversations across the entire internet, Kelce showed up for his team's first preseason outing, and within minutes, fans weren't talking about football at all. They were talking about a ring. Let's set the scene. Saturday, August 15th, the Kansas City Chiefs kicked off their preseason slate against the Los Angeles Rams at Arrowhead Stadium. Kelce was spotted walking into the stadium sporting his newly acquired wedding ring. He wasn't dressed like a man trying to blend in either. He showed up in a black and gold printed button-up shirt paired with matching shorts, black sneakers, and shades, an outfit some fans online joked leaned into a Reputation-era aesthetic, whether intentional or not. He was captured by the Chiefs' social media team carrying a drink in his left hand as he walked through the pre-game tunnel, and that's exactly the detail that gave the internet everything it needed. Because on that same left hand, catching the light for everyone to see, was the ring. A simple gold band, matching the watch on his right arm and the gold bracelet on his other wrist. It wasn't hidden, it wasn't tucked away, it was right there in full view in what almost felt like a quiet, deliberate flex. And fans noticed immediately. The Chiefs' own Instagram account didn't help keep things subtle. They posted the short video with a caption, "TK on site," and added year 14 with a bow and arrow emoji over the clip. Innocent enough, right? Except the comment section had other plans. Fans zeroed in on that ring finger within seconds, and the replies turned into a full-blown celebration. "Showing off that ring, sir," one commenter wrote. "Bling bling," read another. "The wedding ring," followed by a wave of heart-eyes emojis. It didn't stop there. "Wedding ring looks good on ya," someone else added, while another fan gushed, "Love that wedding ring, Mr. Swift." A not-so-subtle reminder of exactly whose last name fans have unofficially attached to him now. But maybe the funniest reaction came from a fan who noticed which hand he was using to hold his drink. "Oh, he's now left-handed like his wife," one fan joked, adding a ring emoji. It's a small comment, but it captures exactly what's happening here. Every tiny gesture, every accessory, every camera angle is now being run through a Taylor Swift filter. That's simply the reality of being married to one of the most famous women on the planet. So what does the ring actually look like? Reports describe it as understated compared to what you might expect from a couple this famous. It's been described as a wedding band Kelce gave fans a clear look at for the first time as he arrived at Arrowhead, and outlets have called it a simple, yet sparkling yellow-gold wedding band. No flashy stones, no oversized design, just gold, clean and classic. And there's a reason people think that pairs so well with what Taylor's wearing on her own hand. The band appears to coordinate with the engagement ring Kelce proposed with back in August 2025, a ring he actually helped design himself, working with Kindred Lubeck of Artifacts Fine Jewelry, featuring an old mine brilliant cut cushion-shaped diamond set on a yellow gold band. Now here's where it gets interesting. As much as fans have obsessed over Travis's ring, there's still a mystery hanging over the whole thing, because Taylor hasn't shown hers off. Not once. As of this weekend, the world still hasn't seen photos of Taylor's wedding dress from the ceremony, though she has continued to flaunt the massive diamond on her ring finger, the same engagement ring, not a wedding band. So while Travis casually let the cameras catch his new hardware walking into a football stadium, Taylor's side of the story remains locked up tight. It's been said that her band will likely match the golden, vintage-inspired design of her engagement ring, but until she steps out and shows it, that's still speculation. That contrast alone says a lot about how these two are handling fame right now. Travis, a professional athlete who's spent over a decade in front of cameras at stadiums every single week, doesn't flinch at being seen. Taylor, on the other hand, has spent the past several weeks laying extremely low. It raises the question, is this a deliberate strategy to keep at least one piece of their marriage private, even while the rest of it played out with an estimated 1,000 guests watching? Because make no mistake, this wedding was not a quiet affair. Whatever privacy the two are chasing now, it wasn't exactly the mood back on July 3rd. The two exchanged vows at Madison Square Garden in New York City, in what fans have already crowned the wedding event of the decade. Kelce himself has finally started opening up about what that night actually meant to him, and his comments paint a picture of a guy who still can't quite believe it happened. Speaking with reporters, Kelce said, "It was kind of cool to live out my childhood dream of being in that venue, the mecca of all sports venues, being able to get married there." Think about that for a second. For a guy who has 3 Super Bowl rings, who has played in some of the most electric stadiums in the country, MSG apparently held a different kind of magic for him entirely. He didn't stop there either, adding, "I can't thank the owners of MSG enough for allowing us to get the opportunity to do that, knowing that we wanted a private event and everything, and it was perfect." That word, private, is doing a lot of work in that sentence, considering just how much of the wedding leaked out to the public anyway. Because while Travis and Taylor may have wanted intimacy, the guest list alone made total secrecy basically impossible. Reports indicate that the wedding drew a star-studded crowd, and word quickly spread about exactly who was in the room. Julia Roberts, Tom Hanks, Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern, Emma Stone, Brad Pitt. When your guest list reads like an awards show seating chart, private starts to feel like a relative term. And it wasn't just A-list actors filling the room, either. Reports suggest the wedding pulled from Taylor and Travis's overlapping worlds of music, sports, and Hollywood, creating one of those rare nights where seemingly every industry's biggest names ended up under one roof. It's the kind of guest list that turns a wedding into a cultural event, whether the couple wanted that spotlight or not. Kelce also touched on the night itself when speaking to the media earlier in the week, and his answer was about as simple and heartfelt as it gets. "It was a fun off-season, man. Wedding was the best night of my life, and I appreciate everyone who came out and celebrated and had fun with us," he said. He didn't stop to overanalyze it or turn it into some big emotional speech. Instead, he kept circling back to just how much fun it actually was. "That's about all I really got from that night. It was a crazy night. It was full of a lot of celebration," he continued, before shifting the conversation right back toward football. Which brings us to the other half of the story, because while the ring stole the show, the actual football context surrounding this moment is just as worth talking about. Despite all the buzz, Kelce didn't even play in Saturday's game. He didn't feature in the Chiefs' preseason opener against the Rams at Arrowhead, and he wasn't the only major name missing from the field either. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes also sat out as he continues recovering from an ACL tear. 2 of the franchise's most important players, both absent, both watching from the sidelines instead of suiting up, which naturally has fans wondering what state this Chiefs roster is really in heading into a new season. Still, Kelce made sure to be present for it. He was there for the sideline festivities, soaking in the atmosphere, even if he wasn't putting on pads. And that detail matters, because it shows exactly where his head is right now, fully locked back into football mode, even while the wedding buzz refuses to die down around him. That shift in focus lines up with something Kelce made pretty clear in his comments this week. After spending several minutes gushing about the wedding, he pivoted hard, making it obvious that as much as that night meant to him, his attention now belongs somewhere else entirely. It's football season, and for a man entering his 14th year in the league, that carries its own weight. Because here's the thing, Kelce is 36 years old now, deep into a career that already includes multiple Super Bowl rings and a Hall of Fame trajectory that's basically locked in. He hasn't formally announced whether the 2026 NFL campaign will be his last. Every season at this stage of his career gets treated like it might be the final chapter, and this year, that speculation is only intensifying, not just because of his age, but because of everything else going on in his life right now. A new marriage, a new level of global attention, a completely different kind of spotlight following him into every locker room and every stadium tunnel he walks through. It does make you wonder how much longer he's willing to keep doing this. Balancing a Hall of Fame football career with being married to arguably the most famous woman on the planet is not exactly a low-maintenance lifestyle. Every game he plays now gets covered differently. Every ring, every gesture, every offhand comment about his wife gets dissected by millions of people within minutes. That's a lot to carry into a football season, on top of just trying to compete at an elite level in a league that doesn't wait for anybody to catch their breath. For now, though, all signs point to Kelce fully embracing this new chapter rather than shrinking from it. He didn't hide the ring. He didn't dodge questions about the wedding. If anything, he leaned into both, letting fans have their moment of celebration while making it clear that football remains the priority once the cameras stop rolling on his personal life. It's a version of Travis Kelce that feels more open than ever, even while so much of what happens between him and Taylor still stays firmly behind closed doors. And that might be the most interesting part of this whole story. For a couple whose relationship has played out under one of the most intense magnifying glasses in modern pop culture history, they still seem to be finding small ways to keep pieces of their life private, even if a single wedding ring flashed at a football stadium is enough to send the internet into a frenzy. One gold band on one hand, caught for a few seconds on camera, and suddenly millions of people are talking. That's the power these two hold right now, whether they're trying to court that attention or simply trying to live their lives in front of a world that refuses to look away. So as the Chiefs push forward into a new season, and as Travis and Taylor continue settling into married life, one thing feels certain. Every appearance, every accessory, every quiet gesture is going to be studied the same way this ring just was. Whether that's exhausting or exciting probably depends on which side of the camera you're standing on. But for two people who've already rewritten the rules on what fame looks like in this era, it seems like exactly the life they signed up for.